shake that, shake that. You gotta, baby, shake that, shake that. Shake it. I got 2 shows, I'm about to pitch another. Throwing alley-oops to my brothers. We all shine, nobody victims. I'm on these sweatsuit, black Pippins. I swag different. That's why the money in the bag different. Come up short, you have your fam. I lay on beaches and swerving whips. You ain't serving, you just an urban myth. Every day get flea. Ride around Queens on a jet ski, it's me. Every day get to the day I die. Every day get, man, I that, and I that, bouncing up and down. Nearly broke, nearly broke. Just let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe for a minute. White Range Rover, in it. Let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe for a minute. White Range Rover, in it. Ready? We waiting?
Know your place, yeah, know your place, yeah. I got like right now, I'm impatient. I got women on the cell trying to give me. I still wish it would, I still wish them well, yeah. Put my problems in them. Only check up when the checks come. My pockets looking blessed up. All the talking never stressed us. They talking like they jealous of me. They talking like they never love me. They talking like they next door. I still treat them like some. Showers on the way. I've been working 25 hours every day. Pull up with the bands, have them dancing in the rain. Pull up with the bands, have them dancing in the rain. Yo. Know your place, yeah, know your place, yeah. I got like right now, I'm impatient. I got women on the cell trying to give me. I still wish it would, I still wish them well, yeah. Know your place, yeah, know your place, yeah. I got like right now, I'm impatient. I got women on the cell trying to give me. I still wish it would, I still wish them well, yeah. Promises and wishes, candles for my exes now. Ain't no fingers let to count my blessing now. Promises and wishes, trust me, it's been different now. No rings for the things I go missing now. Promises and wishes. Why would I ever start celebrating? Why would I ever start celebrating? I'm naming all the hearts I've been breaking. I'm naming all the hearts I've been breaking. The showers on the way. I've been working 25 hours every day. Pull up with the bands, have them dancing in the rain. Pull up with the bands, have them dancing in the rain. Yo. Know your place, yeah, know your place, yeah. I got like right now, I'm impatient. I got women on the cell trying to give me. I still wish it would, I still wish them well, yeah. Know your place, yeah, know your place, yeah. I got like right now, I'm impatient. I got women on the cell trying to give me. I still wish it would, I still wish them well, yeah.
Falling too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, word upon your lip. Rather that you rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. Hanging on to the visual, I wanna be invisible. Looking at my years like I'm out of dumb. Everybody needs to be a part of them. Never be enough from the prodigal son. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, word upon your lip. Rather that you rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes. let it go, working onto something that I'm proud of. Out of the box, an epoxy to the world and the vision we've lost. I'm an apostrophe, I'm just a symbol to remind you that there's more to see. I'm just a product of the system of catastrophe, and yet a masterpiece, and yet I'm half diseased. And when I am deceased, at least I go down to the grave and die happily, and leave the body of my soul to be a part of me. I'll do what it takes, whatever it takes, 'cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes, 'cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes, yeah, take me to the top, I'm ready for whatever it takes, 'cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I'll do what it takes.
You're getting way too big for your boots. You're never too big for the boot. I got the big size toes on my feet. Your face ain't big for my boots. Kick up the you. Man, know that I kick up the you. Them boy there try to suck the truth. How dare you to suck the truth? Look, you're getting way too big for your boots. You're never too big for the boot. I got the big size toes on my feet. Your face ain't big for my boots. Kick up the you. Man, know that I kick up the you. Them boy there try to suck the truth. How dare you to suck the truth? Wanna come round there like a bad boy, do it. Want all the talking, go on and do it. Running through the party, bottle up. Rolls in my ear saying stools, don't do it. Double on my shoulder, I don't lack. Hitting with a business, I don't scrap. Even when I'm bar, I'm so easy ride, but there's no car and no match. What you talking about? Clown, stand down. Never had a thing, never had a pound. You were never bad then, you ain't bad now. Never had them, then look back down. Wait, I saw bare kicks, saw bare clothes. Said not that, I can't wear those. I don't like them, they're not my thing. They went silent, they're all weirdos. Like yeah, Storm's gone clear. Never had a Tom Ford or a Montclair. Man, them I can't be, you see my done there. Tell them don't do it, don't dare. Don't care who you know from my block. You're not Al Capone, they can take my car and my creps. I'll still do the road in my socks. Like who's gonna stop me? You, him, little man. I got blue slims. Don't be an idiot, move smart. I've been killing it, new king. You were never ready for my new stuff. You're a boy by yourself, go and group up. And when Crep went states for the BTs, I was covering Crep like a boot cut. If mad, it's a family thing, straight family thing. Dumb man, I broke no salary thing. Had a painting called Amy telling me to come round hers on a Valerie thing. Hashtag Murky Academy thing. You were like art and the gallery thing. Dumb boy there wanna chat about bars, wanna chat about. You're getting way too big for your boots. You're never too big for the boot. I got the big size toes on my feet. Your face ain't big for my boots. Kick up the you. Man, know that I kick up the you. Them boy there try to suck the truth. How dare you to suck the truth? Look, I'm too hot. I got money in my shoebox. I'm the man of the house when my show sold out like the brother from the Boondocks.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got an NFC South matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. That's fielded. End zone, and he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They go play action here on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Working out of the gun, Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Second down, Winston. The quick slant caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Deshaun Jackson from 8 yards out. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
To return it, Alvin Kamara. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. Room here to run. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Well, this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he'll be knocked down sideways. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Levante David coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Seven yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though,
and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. William Golston. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Robert Ayers in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely, he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
On the return, it's Ryan Smith. Set to take over is Tampa Bay's offense. This is a Tampa Bay team, Charles, that in 2017, really, a lot of people's darlings coming into the year, and then they wound up being the only team in the NFC South not to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and part of it, only 27th in the league in rushing. And they thought they had a #1 running back in Doug Martin, who did not have a big year again in 2017. And last in the league in overall defense. So when you put that combo together, makes it hard to win the games you need to win, especially in a tough division like the NFC South.
And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. The play fake to Sims. Now Winston. And he's got some space here. And he slides to avoid the hit. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, the former star at nearby LSU, Patrick Peterson. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. New Orleans offense working its way back out there. As we look at them ahead to 2018, as that wound to the end of 2017 continues to heal, Charles, they're going to have Kamara, Ingram, Thomas. If they have Breeze back at quarterback, this should be an excellent squad again.
It certainly should, and frankly, if the offensive line comes back healthy and intact, that's another big win for them, especially with their 2 tackles, Teron Armstead at left tackle, Ryan Ramczyk, who was a rookie last season at right tackle. They are loaded going forward. If they could get a real playmaker at tight end, that might be the last piece. And if that happens, I'd hate to be a defensive coordinator trying to game plan for them.
And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Looking to throw. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Spinning away. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll look to throw here. Flushed out right. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season,
0-9.
Yeah.
Can't go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999 where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. Well, he's got some breathing room. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. At the end of one, 10-7 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
They are, however, facing a fourth. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. On the return is Peterson. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And that play is able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Jameis on second down. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They run the counter now on first down. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now a second down throw for Winston. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. On 3rd down, Winston. A dump off to Sims. A second. And Sims lost it. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
The Saints put up 29 points a game last year, second only to the Falcons, and they're in range to get some points on this drive as well. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Double tight, guys, double tight. All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll set up a throw. Eluding the pressure. Touchdown! And the New Orleans Saints put 6 up on the board. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And the lead is up to 14. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
Make sure they understand.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Saints. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints add on to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a play fake here. Cameron Jordan in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone.
I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to put it.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up second down.
We do see this a lot from rookie quarterbacks, don't we? They kind of lock in on their intended target. A lot of times they establish that buddy, that guy they depend on, and boy, defenses zero in on it, don't they?
A little bit too telegraphed that time, and that's why it's knocked away. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now back to throw. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
Now, that was a little bit longer distance than you would expect to see for a quarterback sneak. Normally, it's 4th and 1, 4th and inches, but when you get interior linemen trying to get upfield for a pass play, sometimes you can blow past them on the sneak, and it worked well for them.
And now he'll tuck it and run. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one, 11 yards in the first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a long.
And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's a toss coming right. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think, to a degree of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
Jameis now on first down. And Winston lost the football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession. Final play of the half here. Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando. Indeed, a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half two. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Ooh, the juke. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flush to his right. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints just continue to roll.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Alex Okafor in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line.
And he loses the football the second time. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Very tough spot here for the offense to start.
Let's go. 3, 9,
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flushed out right. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Dancing to his left. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Quan Alexander able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Time running out here on the play clock. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 44 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Wide open receiver complete. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Saints. 44 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get up.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Josh Hill there to make the grab. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Saints. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. They run the counter now on first down. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, but the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he lost the football. And now running right through it. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. He got 29 yards that time. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Saints. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
3rd and long for Winston. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Back to it after the pick six. Winston. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Anzalone in there to record another sack. Their sixth of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And some room to roam now. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. That one goes for 36 yards. On 1st and 10, Winston. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Craig Robertson in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it. Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Peyton Barber taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Bucs are able to get a score back.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we get to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time
one
we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
Yeah,
they?
when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Robert Ayers in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but you didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But then this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds.
Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. To throw now on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
All right, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now he's forced out left, and he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll set up to throw. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 10 more there and another first down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it?
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. William Golston in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
And sometimes pride wins, doesn't it? Because, yes, they're getting steamrolled here right now. They're down big, and they're going to try a fake field goal against them.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. A.J. Klein leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Winston now. And this is caught by Evans. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Bucs on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Now it's Peterson. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 53 yards. And the Saints just continue to roll.
There is no doubt in my mind.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Lots of look to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. 4 yards remaining now on second down. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. Second down, Winston. And some space here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. A first down throw for Winston. And Winston lost the football. So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and they've got a ways to go now on third down. Winston from the gun on third down. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Finding room at the 30. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. Give him 30 yards there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Back to throw here. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. William Golston getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Steps away to his left. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback finding the end zone yet again. And the Saints are pouring it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Winston and Humphreys connecting there for a Tampa Bay 1st down. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And Winston lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the posts. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on.
What?
Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic, faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
Did the same. It smelled terrible. First down, Winston. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Jameis to throw it. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You just tried to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Looking to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down. 15 yards there for number 15. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And down he goes. goes. A Buccaneer sack. Gerald McCoy forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He may try. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. One last shot now for Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.